Welcome to our architecture and planning exams preparation Ada. Let's understand about Egyptian temples, the upcoming video in our series. So we have covered about mastabas, pyramids. Let's go to the temples of Egypt. So I will take you through this. This is also another important part in our architecture. Maybe in government job exams, they might be asking about the Egyptian temples, their architecture. What is Peristyle Court? What is Hypostyle Hall? In GATE also many of the questions came from this topic. So most important guys. So first of all, Egyptian temples. So what are Egyptian temples? Egyptian temples mainly there are two types. One is mortuary temple, the other is cult temple. As the name itself says, mortuary temple means the it's built for worship of deceased pharaohs. That means pharaohs who died. Pharaoh is almost like king of Egypt. So when these people died, Egyptians used to build temples for them and worship them. So this mortuary temples they used to construct for the died pharaohs, and they used to worship them. So this is one is mortuary temple is over. Cult temple. Cult temple is like Hindu gods only. Egyptians are also having gods like sun god, moon god, snake god. Likewise, Egyptians are also having Amun-Ra. You might have heard Amun-Ra. Amun-Ra is called the sun god. So this is cult temple. So cult temples are nothing but like for the gods, for the worship of gods. Okay. So first part, guys, two temples, two types of temples: mortuary temple and cult temple. Next, see if you see here in the mortuary temple, this is the guys. This is the morphology of the look. Suppose this is mortuary temple. It looks like this. This temple of Hatshepsut is there at Deir el Bahari. Ramesses. See, Ramesses II is also a pharaoh. He is also the king of Egypt. So for him, after his death, they have built the temple for him. The temple Hatshepsut. So if any question comes, which of the following is a mortuary temple? Three kinds, suppose temple at Karnak, temple at Aman. Third one is temple at Hatshepsut. Fourth one is none of the above. Then you have to take temple at Hatshepsut. This is mortuary temple for the pharaoh Ramesses II. This is most important. Cult temple. Cult temple is temple at Khons. Temple of Khons, at Karnak dedicated to moon god. This is also one of the most important. We will go in detail what are these kind of slope things, what is century. We will go in detailed manner in this visual sketch notes. So I made this sketch notes for exclusively for you to understand and grasp in a short period of time without going to the lengthy texts. Okay. Mortuary temples. So this is mortuary temple. The construction on west bank of Nile. See what happening is normally Egyptians used to believe that on the west bank of Nile sun goes down. That means sun sets down towards the west. So what they did is they have built the life is also like that. Life is also they believe that symbolizing the realm of dead, where sun sets each day. That means they thought maybe wherever the sun is setting towards that only dead will also live. There is some place where the dead is living. So symbolizing the realm of dead, what they did is they have constructed the mortuary temples along the west bank of Nile, where they have constructed a west bank. And this is see again in the old kingdom. What happens in the Egyptian? If you see the Egyptian genealogy from where the king's chronological order, if you have seen, There is old kingdom is there and new kingdom is there. So during the old kingdom, mainly what happening is pyramids are there, guys. So in the last classes we have seen extensively about pyramids and mastabas. So pyramids are there. Pyramids, early mortuary temples adjoining the pyramidal. Suppose this is pyramid, the temple is here, so adjoining the pyramids used to be there. But afterwards what happened is, in the new kingdom, that means in the later kingdoms, temples were built separately. So these mortuary built is mortuary temples not only along with the pyramids. Later on they have separated them. On the west bank of Nile they have separately constructed the mortuary temples. So this is the sun on the west bank of Nile. You can see the sand dunes, that mummy worship. So for worship of deceased king, these are I've already told you. For the worship of deceased king, offering held food and objects for the king's ka. That means food. They used to keep food and objects for the king's spirit. They used to offer, like Hindu gods also we offer prasad. So for Egyptian mortuary temples also, for the kings, for the pharaoh spirit, they used to offer food and objects. All the funerary priests perform daily rituals, like Hindu temples only. They used to perform daily rituals for their deceased pharaoh. Generally followed axially planned design. Suppose if a question comes, sometimes normally grouping, if you have seen gate previous questions also, which kind of design is this? It is a clustered concept, it is a symmetrical concept. Likewise, if a question comes, so in what manner the mortuary temples are designed or the Egyptian temples are designed, immediately you should mark the axially planned design. Most important, axially planned design. Don't forget, guys. This is you should write. Egyptian temples are constructed in axially planned designs. Next, so visual, everything we are kept in visual for you. Go and like video, subscribe to our channel so that you won't miss the next videos. This clear progression you can see from outside world. Suppose if a person is there, he is going from the outside world, suppose outside, from outside inside the temple he is moving in the axial direction. In axial, along the axis he is moving, and you can see it is also progressing from remain here, it is taller, it is going down towards most sacred interior space. One more thing is, see, in architecture we used to see public space, semi public space, semi private space, private space. Likewise here also public space is there, and then these general public will go to one hall, Peristyle Hall. Later on Hypostyle Hall will be there. Afterwards people are not allowed, only the priests, and this is the main sacred place. Though sacred, most sacred interior space is in the flag end. Yes, clear progression is definitely there in the planning. Key architectural elements we go. See, guys, this is most suppose history of architecture, why it is there. History of architecture, if you study, you will get new ideas how our ancestors, how our Egyptians, other culture people, how they have designed the building. See what a beautiful way to demonstrate this. When you are approaching the temple, there is a processional avenue. This is not, this is almost 4000 years back, 2000 BC, before 2000 BC. So there what they did is, they have created avenue of Sphinxes. You know Phoenix? Phoenix means it's having a face of a goat, sometimes face of a lion, face of tiger. So face of human also. So face of a human and body of lion, similar. So these sculptures they are kept along the avenue to the temple. This is our temple. Suppose when you are going through this pathway, when you are going through this avenue, on either side you can see huge number of sphinxes. They are welcoming you. It gives a very monumental kind of feeling. So this is the Nile. Your Nile river is there, and your temple is like this towards it. This is the west bank of Nile, as I told you earlier, the processional avenue. So this is the pylon, guys. So wherever in the earlier also I've told you, in our cult temples and mortuary temples also, this is one of the prominent feature. This is the entrance gateway, like an entrance gateway in our modern buildings. This is a pylon. So in pylon, normally what happening is you can see two tapering structures. You can see here to see here. This is a tapering structure, right? And in between we have this shorter one. So two tapering structures in between a shorter entry. This is your main entry. In between the two tapering structures, you are entering. Then a question comes, suppose not only the government job exams or a GATE exam, even in your semester exams, this is, if you sketch this, pass, you will get good marks. You sketch that pylon, what are the architectural features of Egyptian architecture, you sketch this, you write some text about this, you get good marks. So what here I will explain, this is called obelisk. So every the entry of the temples there is a tower sort of thing, like in our Indian Hindu temples we will see Dwajastambha. Likewise in Egyptian temples, at the entry of the temple there is a tower sort of thing. This is called obelisk, guys. Obelisk, don't forget. So afterwards, after entering the temple, see here what happens is, if you, after this lesson, you go to internet, check the images of the pylon, Egyptian pylons. So here we have some recessed areas where there used to be flags of the Egypt are used to be kept. Okay, so later on it's gone in the time. Now you can only see the recessed designed to hold massive wooden flag staffs. Yes, okay. With the pylon you will enter the our temples, Egyptian cult temples or Egyptian mortuary temples. You will enter like this. It is a monumental entrance gateway consisting of two massive tapering towers joined by a lower central doorway. Okay. Next, with colossal statues and obelisks. Colossal statues I have already told. Here also you can see on top of pylon also you will have engraving sort of thing. Sometimes statues are there that are projecting out of the pylon surface. Paintings are there. All these you can see on top of obelisk also we have paintings, sculptures, engravings. Obelisk one symbolized as horizon with the sun rising between the towers. What happens is the sun rising between the towers, that means east. See, this building is facing towards the west, towards west Nile, but sun comes during the morning. Some sun starts coming from here. So what they told, this is like sun coming from the horizon. This is like horizon, they are saying. That is the concept behind the Egyptian temples, guys. See how during the BC time only, how architects have thought. See, again coming to the next thing, open court. See, Peristyle Court. This is one of the most important, guys. In the, as soon as the general public enters, we will, suppose if a Hindu temple is there, we will initially enter into a courtyard. Likewise, we are first initial Peristyle Court where the general public will enter. It's a roofless area. It's normal, like see what happens is it's a like this rectangle type. In between, it is cut out. Roofless area. So it's like this. So on all sides you will have a colonnade sort of thing with columns, double columns sometimes. So in this is the initial one, all public can enter. Pylons surrounded by colonnade of pillars. See, colonnade, all colonnade, double colonnade will be there, triple colonnade will be there. This is all called peristyle, open. It's a roofless area. walkway surrounding a central court. See, I told you this is a central courtyard. It's a walkway surrounding the central court. This is whatever I am hatching now. This is the walkway around central courtyard. Yes, serving as interface between the public and inner sacred areas. Initial, it is initial and it will serve as a interface between the public and the inner sacred. I told you the sequence. Outer, the general public will be there, then the priests will come, then the main sanctuary will come. It will go in a sequential manner. Okay. So we have to very cautious while answering Peristyle Court. For whom this is? Sometimes the question may come. For what the Peristyle Court is there? The answers might for gathering of public, for worshipping of the Pharaoh, like that. Then you have to answer like for the gathering of the general public. Next going to example. See, I will show you this example. All our lessons will include examples so that you can understand easily. See, this is the Peristyle Court. This is all, we can see the clouds outside sky. This is all the columns, colonnade is happening. This is where the humans walk. This is where the pathway. This is along the colonnade. As you might have seen in our Connaught Place, Delhi, colonnade will be there. So this is the gathering, that sequential order I said. First your Ramesses see. This is a temple of Luxor temple where Nile is there here. Nile and avenue of Sphinxes are there. Ramesses Court. This is also one of the Peristyle Court only. Ramesses Court is there. Colonnade again. You are passing through a colonnade. Again Peristyle Court is there. Later on Hypostyle is there. Later on the main sanctuary, main god is located here at the end, flag end. This is the sequence, guys. Don't forget. So when you are writing the semester exams also, you just sketch this. First the entry pylon with Sphinxes. Later on your Peristyle Court will come. Later on your Hypostyle Hall will come. Hypostyle Hall, Peristyle Court, and next sanctuary. Simple. Very simple. Just go and write the exams with confidence. Hypostyle Hall. So next come. After the first we entered through avenue of Sphinxes. Later we have entered the Peristyle Court with colonnade, its open courtyard. Now we are entering the Hypostyle Hall. Hypostyle Hall, a large room hall filled with closely spaced columns supporting the ceiling. See here what happening is, it's a big hall. Again these columns, see our Egyptians what they do is they used to design the columns also like a flowers or palm trees. So because they have used the native elements, what are the elements they are existing, they have used that only. See, suppose this is there, it is looking like some papyrus flower. Papyrus flowers are also used to be there. Papyrus plants used to be there in Egypt. That's why papyrus, you can write what kind of columns will be there in Egypt. This is one of the question. Papyrus, lotus capital. Sometimes this column top used to be like look like a lotus. Cynthian flowers. All these are locally available to Egypt. They are replicated in the built forms, guys. Natural elements they are replicated in the built forms. A large roof hall filled with closely spaced. This is a large roofed hall. See, what is the difference between Peristyle Court and Hypostyle Hall? Peristyle Court is a open courtyard. Only your colonnade used to be there at the end. But Hypostyle Hall, it is completely covered with columns. These all these columns will support the roof of the Hypostyle Hall. This is the entry. This is the exit. It's like that. Okay. It's a key transitional bones, because actually, see, we talked about the Peristyle Court. It is mainly for general public. This Hypostyle Hall, it is for the, it's like a transitional zone. People can come, and our priests, all those important people, VIPs, whoever the ministers and all those, they will, or the king's family members, they will all assemble here. This is like a transitional zone between the courts and innermost sanctuaries. Most important, guys. So next, have to understand all this. Next, see, this is the elevation. It should be seen in the elevation like this. These two columns are seen like this. This is a supporting. This is roof. Okay, forms an essential part of ceremonial pathway. See, whatever the axial axis we thought, it is called ceremonial pathway. See what they have, sometimes column top they have given the faces of that pharaohs also. They have decorated with it. They have decorated with lotuses. They have decorated with Cynthian flowers, papyrus flowers. Columns carved to resemble stylized. See the same thing. Whatever I told you, papyrus, palm or lotus plants. Yes, guys. Hypostyle Hall. Assembly. Basically, what is Hypostyle Hall? It's an assembly space for priests, dignitaries, and deceased family members. Yes, assembly space. So one question comes: what is the name of assembly space in Egyptian temples? Answer will be options will be like Peristyle Court, Hypostyle Hall, Sacred Space, Phoenix Avenue. All these will be there. Sometimes people will be confusing. Assembly space means maybe Peristyle Court they may answer, but it is not the case. You go ahead and write the answer as assembly space. Assembly space for priests and dignitaries is nothing but hypostyle hall. You write the answer as hypostyle hall. Okay, hypostyle hall. It welcoming, elaborate welcome and rituals in presence of kings. All these processional whatever rituals will happen. Suppose drums and all those. The soldiers will be doing the drumming, and sometimes they are giving sacrifices of animals, etc. All these it used. If you see the movies of Egyptian, etc., old movies, then you can see all these in the hypostyle hall. In sanctuary, only priests, pharaoh can enter. Houses the cult. See, sacred space now also normally in Hindu temples also Garbhagriha. Only the priest will be there. Normally, most of the temples they won't allow directly into Garbhagriha. Sometimes there are some temples, very few temples they allow, but otherwise only the queue line will be outside the Garbhagriha. You will be passing outside the Garbhagriha. Likewise, only priests in Egyptian temples also. Priests can only enter the sanctuary, not the general public. Okay. See one more example for your benefit. I am showing an example. The most famous example. This is the Temple of Khons at Karnak. 1198 BC, guys. Almost about 4,000 years back. 3,000, more than 3,000 years. Don't forget examples. If you what are the examples of Egyptian temples? You can write Temple of Khons at Karnak. The cult temple, it's a cult temple dedicated to Khons. Khons means moon god. Moon god. This their name is. They used to call it as Khons. Okay. It's here also see whatever we have discussed. First we are entering through pylon. That tapering structure is there. That flagstaffs, recessive flagstaffs. I told you that one. So these tapering structures in between that lowered gateway. We are entering inside. Here we are entering. Here actually anyway we thought the phoenixes will be there. I told you that human face and animal body or goat face and animal body. All these phoenixes will be there. Avenue of phoenixes. From this pylon gateway you will enter. Here obelisk also will be there. Obelisk is the tapering structure. Then you are entering to the Peristyle Court. This is the Peristyle Court. Open courtyard only with walkway all round. Then you are entering the covered court. Covered court is called Hypostyle Hall. Here the main assembly will happening. Processions, religious rites, etc. will happen. Then the sanctuary. Only the priest will be there here. General people we can't enter here. Okay. So you can see on the walls again inside inscriptions. You can see reliefs. You can see in colored covered surface on walls. All these you can see. This is Khon temple. In semester exams, don't forget. Just write Khon's temple for moon god. You give the description of all these things. That's it, you get good marks. It is rectangular in plan. Obelisks present at the entrance. I told you obelisk will be there at the entrance. Temple is approached through a way with presence of Sphinxes on either side. Yes, we discussed that. Double. This is the plan. I've showed you the 3D view, axonometric view. This is the plan we are seeing. This is that avenue will be there. Avenue of Sphinxes will be there on either side. Then you are entering your pylon. Then your court. Peristyle court is there with almost, this is open. Still 28 massive columns are there, guys. Again your hypostyle hall is there. Sacred boat. Here actually what happened, before that chapel there is a sacred space also. It is sacred boat. Boat of Khons. They believed some boat is there for the moon god. So they kept the boat here. Okay, see, if you see, I told you already, we are moving in axial direction. When you are moving in axial direction, the height also decreasing from the, see, the flagstaffs are there, the pylon is there, this peristyle court is there, hypostyle hall is there, that boat is there, sacred boat, then the chapel. So it is going in the, from height, it is slowly decreasing, decremental. So if when a question comes whether the axial axis in the temple, whether it is incremental or decremental, you should write decremental. From the height goes on decreasing from the pylon to chapel. This is there. Temple possesses massive pylon or the tall monumental gateway at the entrance, followed by pillared court. Pillared court we discussed. Hypostyle hall we discussed. Sanctuary we discussed. Chapel we discussed. So most easier manner I've told you, go ahead and write in the exam. Next temple we have covered, the Temple of Khons at Karnak, Temple of Khons for the moon god. Now we are going to the next temple, Temple of Amun-Ra, that means sun god. See, moon, one temple for moon god, one temple for sun god. Temple for moon god is called Khons at Karnak. Amun-Ra, both are at Karnak only. Amun-Ra, that means sun god. This is the largest of all Egyptian temples, guys. It was built by several successive kings. So this is like a temple complex. This is not a single temple, it's like a complex, you can see. It's like a complex. Okay. So what happening is, you can see, you can clearly see it is like a temple complex. In between there are different temples. One temple, other temple, Temple of Khons is there. One lake is there. See, interestingly, there are similarities between Hindu architecture and Egyptian architecture. In Hindu also, you can see some temple stepped wells, you can see. Likewise, there also there is a lake there, and there are also inside the lake some processions will be happening. People will be getting into that, maybe priests, etc., for having a bath, that religious bath, etc. And see here the temple of path. Here also it is almost 366 meters. This is the main temple. 110-meter width is there. Pylon is there. Sequence of pylons. Second pylon is there. Total 6 pylons, guys. Great temple of Amun for sun god. There are total 6 pylons are there. 134 gigantic columns in 16 rows. Clear story. I will tell you, this is an interesting concept. During that time only they have introduced clear story, how innovative it is. I'll show you that section. 6 columns along the central aisle, this aisle. Hypostyle hall dimensions we have given. Check it out. For semester exams, you remember this and write it. Court, Peristyle Court is there. See, this is an interesting concept, guys. What they have done is, hypostyle hall, in between the central aisle they have lifted the columns. See, these are the adjacent columns. The central columns are in the middle. So these central columns, they have raised the roof slightly, so that these are the windows. Your lighting will be entering from here. Outside your lighting will enter into this. This is how innovative. At that time, almost 3000 years back, they have done this. Your light will enter into the building through these clear story windows. Do this section in the semester exam. You will get full marks, guys. See, we have covered that main temple, Egyptian temple architecture, guys. Temple at Khons at Karnak for moon god. Temple of Amun-Re at Karnak, that is for sun god. Temple complex, as we have covered. This axial direction, how it is decremental, we have seen from Pylon to Peristyle Court to Hypostyle Hall to sacred space to chapel. 3D views we have seen. Column types we have seen. Papyrus column, lotus column. This is the Luxor temple also we have covered. The pylons, entry gateway we have seen. Obelisk we have seen. Avenue of Sphinxes we have seen. They will built on the west bank of Nile we have seen. West bank of Nile we have seen. All these we have covered. Our Egyptian temples mostly we have covered it. There is second part to this. I will cover it in the next video. Till then, all the best. Keep doing best. Don't stop your preparation. GATE TELS exam is also nearing. Our MES exam is also nearing, guys. All the best.